While on a long trip, an older couple stopped at a cafe on the side of the road for lunch. Now, after they'd finished their meal, they went back to the car and continued on their way. As they left that cafe, the wife unknowingly had left her glasses on the table, and unfortunately she didn't miss them till they were down the road, probably about an hour away. Now, to add to the dilemma, they had to travel quite a distance before they could find a safe place to turn around so that they could go back to the little cafe to rescue her glasses. Now, all the way back, the elderly husband became the classic grumpy old man. He muttered and he complained. He grumbled incessantly to his wife. But when they finally arrived back at the cafe, and as his wife was stepping out of the car to go inside to retrieve her glasses, the husband called to her, "Oh, while you're in there, you might as well get my phone and the credit card too, if you can." Today's verse is again from a Sermon on the Mount. That's the message that Jesus preached on the side of the hill overlooking the Sea of Galilee, Matthew 5, 6 and 7. In Matthew 5, verse 6 we read, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled." Some versions say satisfied. Now, we all know something about hunger and thirst. Until we get some food or water, we cannot be satisfied. The word righteousness doesn't feature a lot in our everyday language these days, does it? So what does it really mean? Well, according to my trusty dictionary, to be righteous means to have the quality of being morally right or justifiable. Another word I could use is perfect. Right now we live in a world where many people believe that their ways are right, that at least in their own eyes, no one comes near them. True or false becomes relative. They believe they can do whatever they think or feel is right. It becomes all about them and all about their own personal needs and standards. Righteousness, according to our human standards, is defined as the quality of being morally true. But it has a deeper spiritual meaning. Righteousness is the quality of being right in the eyes of God. Now think about the law of nature. Gravity, for example. It comes from God and reveals the God of the universe is the God of order. If I have something in my hand and drop it, it falls to the ground. The laws of God, however, are much more than just the laws of nature. And as we read through the scriptures, particularly the Psalms, we find that the laws of God are shown in his righteousness, especially between God and humanity. Righteousness is a God-centered attribute, one that none of us can ever reach on our own. We are more likely to follow our own ways rather than the ways of God. Isaiah puts it like this in chapter 64, verse 6. When we compare our righteousness to God's righteousness, it's nothing but filthy rags. But the good news is that although we are grubby and we're likely to blame others, God makes us right with himself through Jesus. That is good news. I trust that you will take that with you into this week, not pointing your fingers at others, but recognising that none of us, no, not one, is righteous before our loving God. But it's him who makes us righteous because of his amazing love for us. Thank you, Lord. I trust that you have a great week.